Good morning, Pio Pico Palomas. Thank you for joining me this morning. This is our Monday morning message on a Tuesday. So this is Dr. Lupe Gomez, principal at Pio Pico Elementary. I am so glad you're taking time to view this message. We're going to go ahead and get started. I do not have a co-host this morning, but let's go ahead and get started with birthdays. And let's see, yesterday we had a special birthday because yesterday it was Jose's birthday. So happy birthday, Jose. Happy late birthday. Hopefully you had a lot of fun yesterday. But today we have two birthdays. So happy birthday, Henry and Jason. Happy birthday, Gabriela and Julian and David and Abigail. And happy birthday, Brianna. So you are a year older. We are so glad that you are here with us at Pio Pico, and we wish you nothing but the best from everybody here at Pio Pico, and may you keep shining. So yay! If you have a little bit of cake left over, make sure you bring it on over. This week, we're going to continue focusing on our skills for learning. So remember that we're all learners, and we need to learn the skills for learning. And the more we practice those skills, the stronger that our brains will become, the stronger our brains become, the better we're able to learn. And so last week we talked a little bit about what it means to listen, and hopefully you had more time in your classrooms learning about practicing the skill of listening. Today we're going to talk about focused attention. And this is going to be really important because they're called attentoscopes, and we're going to be using them to help us pay attention to things that we're learning about. So when we focus our attention, we use our ears and our eyes and our brain, and we're really focused just at the one thing that we want to make sure we pay attention to. We don't pay attention to all the other distractions that are going on. There's probably a lot, especially now that we're learning from home. So we're going to have to be able to put on those attentoscopes on and be able to just focus on the teacher or the speaker or the pieces of information that you're learning. So we're going to practice that skill a little bit later on in this message because I do have a read aloud where you'll be able to focus your attention. We're going to go right into our Scholars of the Week because we have to celebrate the great work that all of our scholars are doing. And this is Alice Rodriguez, a TK student in Mrs. Jaramillo's class. Alice always has a smile in class and is eager to share her ideas with her classmates. She likes to ask questions and she's not shy to share her perspective. She is determined in learning the letter names and letter sounds of this trimester. She demonstrates what a hardworking scholar can achieve with perseverance. She's a positive role model and likes to help others in class. If a Chromebook is not working, you need to reach out to Ms. Alice Rodriguez because she's the one that's always sharing different solutions on how to be able to fix a Chromebook. So congratulations, Alice. We're so proud of you. We also have Jake Del Valle from Mrs. Garcia. So congratulations, Jake. Jake is a responsible student. He completes his assignments regularly and participates in class. He tries his best to improve his reading and he never gives up. Jake is very kind and he's a pleasure to have in class and in our school. Congratulations, Jake. We have Victoria Barona, a second grade student from Miss Alcaraz, and she's just a little Wonder Woman. She does an amazing job of participating in class every day. She logs in on time and she's ready to go. She's also very responsible about doing her online programs and asynchronous assignments. Great job, Victoria. We're all so proud of you. We also have Jesus Macedo, a student from Miss Andrade. So congratulations, Jesus. Jesus is a responsible scholar who demonstrates perseverance and a growth mindset. He has demonstrated a growth mindset by working hard even when the work is challenging. Jesus has shown consistent growth in both reading and math. Way to go, Jesus. Now, I'm not going to introduce a new scholarly attribute this week. What I really want us to be able to do is focus on the ones that we've already reviewed and take time to make sure you're putting them all together because they work best when we combine these attributes together versus having to do them isolated. So this week, try to figure out how you can take risks, make sure that you have all your resources and your tools so that you're ready to learn and prepare for class, that you are setting both short and long-term goals, that you are exercising your intellect by doing challenging work, and that you're curious by asking questions, right? So we're going to put all those things together, and hopefully we'll be able to see them in your classroom. Um, and reach out to me if you're having issues or you're not understanding one of these attributes. But remember, these are the attributes that we need in order to be able to succeed in life and in school. So what I'm going to do now is something a little bit different, and it comes from a request. So last week we had Elena, a student from Ms. Vilchi's class, and she kind of gave us her summary of the story, The Princess and the Warrior. And what we heard was a lot of people who were saying, wow, that's such a beautiful story, and I wish I could get a hold of it. And so what I'm going to do today for you is something very special. Is I'm going to go ahead and read you the story to you. And it's called The Princess and the Warrior. And this is written by Duncan Donati. So let's get started. Once upon a time, there lived a kind and beautiful princess named Itza. Even though she was a daughter of an emperor, she loved to spend time with the people who grew corn in the milpas. She liked to teach them poetry or floricanto. Suitors traveled from distant lands to woo her. They presented her with rare and lavish gifts, such as quetzal feathers and turquoise necklaces. They would all say the same thing: you are the most beautiful maiden in the whole land. Marry me, princess, and you will live in my luxurious palace. You won't have to spend time in the fields ever again. No, thank you, Ita would reply. She was not interested in any of the suitors or their gifts. One day, a warrior named Popoka came to see her. Princess, I know you have a kind and beautiful heart. For I have seen you teaching floricanto to the villagers in the milpas. I don't have expensive gifts to offer, but if you marry me, I promise that I will love you for who you are. I will stay by your side no matter what. As long as Tonatu rises, as long as the Sisotle burn sings. So Tonatiuh is the sun god or the sun, right? Popoka's word, Popoka's words were music to Ita's ears. She could hear the honesty in his voice, and she fell in love with him. The emperor did not want his daughter to marry a mere soldier. He wanted her to marry a wealthy and powerful Tatwani, a ruler. But he knew that Popoka best was the best and bravest warrior in his kingdom. The emperor and his people had been at war with Jabberwock, a Tlatoani of a neighboring land, for years, and there seemed to be no end in sight. He called Popoka to him. Popoka, the emperor said, if you defeat Jaguar Claw once and for all, I will let you marry my daughter Itza. Popoka and Itza were overjoyed. Popoka gathered his most courageous men and marched to war. Popoka fought numerous battles. He and his men were injured and almost defeated many times. But when the end seemed near, Popoka would always think of Itza, waiting for his return. He would defend himself with his chimagi, attack with his mawatil, and inspire his men to fight with even more courage than before. Slowly, the tide turned, and Popoka and his men began winning battles. It was clear that they would soon defeat Jaguar. Realizing this, Jaguar Claw devised a plan to steal from Popoka what the warrior cherished most. He bribed one of Popoka's personal messengers. Tell Itza that Popoka has been killed and offer her this potion, Oakley, to soothe her grief. Everything's lost, princess, the messenger said sadly when he arrived at the palace. Popoka and his men fought bravely, but they were defeated and killed. No, that cannot be, cried Itza. She locked herself in her chamber and wept and refused to eat or speak with anyone. That night, the messenger came to her room. I know your heart is shattered as if it were made of obsidian glass, he said. But take this drink, princess. It will help ease your grief. Itza took the potion and drank it all. Laying down on her petate, she fell into a deep sleep. The next day, before night fell and the first Silali appeared in the sky, a Silali is a star, Popoka defeated Jaguar Claw. Unaware of the lies the messenger had told, the great warrior and his troops marched back to the palace in triumph, ready to share the good news with the princess and the emperor. But when they arrived, they were met with disbelief. Popoka, said the emperor, one of your messengers told us that you were dead. Itza was heartbroken. She took a special Oakley to ease her pain, and now we cannot wake her. This can't be true, said Popoka. Itza, my beautiful princess, has to awaken. He ran to her chamber. He kissed her, and he held her in his arms. He called out her name over and over, Itza, Itza. But Itza did not wake up. Cool air will surely revive her, Popoka told the emperor. He carried Itza through the throngs of villagers who wept as they passed, past the milpas, and all through the night to the top of Atepete. He laid her on a sochi bed. Sochi is another word for flowers. He knelt down beside her. The cool mountain air soon turned to snow, but still the princess did not wake. Popoka refused to move. He stayed next to Itza just as he had promised when he first met her. As long as Tonati rises and as long as the Sensotle bird sings. In time, where once there was a princess with her true love by her side, two volcanoes emerged. One is known as Itzatsihuaro, or Sleeping Woman. The other one is known as Popocatépetl, or Smoky Mountain. Itzatsihuatl continues to sleep, but Popocatépetl spews ashes and smoke from time to time, as if attempting to wake his sleeping princess. Y colorín colorado, este cuento se ha acabado. So I hope you've enjoyed this story. I know a lot of you were asking for it, so I'm so glad I was able to read it to you. But I want you to think about what other stories have you heard that is similar to this one. Um, Share with me what was your favorite part, or what was something that you would have changed if you were the creator of this story. But yeah, share your thoughts with me. So that's it for today's message, for this week's message. I do want to remind everybody that we are still continuing with TK and Kinder registration. Just email Rocio and we'll get you squared away with that. We are on the third part of our Healthy Body, Healthy Mouth series for parent education. So join us on March 25th. from 2 o'clock, from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, so that we know how to take care of our mouths. It's really important for our health. And then today, Tuesday, I know it's supposed to be on Monday, but today, Tuesday, please join me at 2 o'clock. We're going to turn it up and we're going to transform together. So please join me at 2 o'clock at bit.ly/Pio transforms. And on Friday, of course, come and join the conversation. Bring your friend, and you can join me for Friendship Friday. And that's it. Just quick reminder, on April 1st, we do have our Cafecito con la Directora. I'll have more information for parents as far as what's happening with reopening in our district. And then know that on April 5th through April 9th, we are on spring break. So almost there. Let's hang on tight. So enjoy your week, and I'll see you soon. Adios.